So, Des, how do you like the Tomoquad XBL2 Extreme Edition?
Well, makes you feel like you're freaking Superman. It's faster than a speeding bullet, stronger than a locomotive, and you're able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. What's going on, YouTube? It's Desode here. Got the full XBL2 Extreme Edition from Tomoquads on the bench today for the full review. As you saw in the intro, this thing is off the ever-loving hook. So this is something that I've wanted to build for a long time. We got a 3-inch build here. The bottom plate on this thing is 4 millimeters thick, and then the pod plate is 2.5 millimeters thick. As we get into things here, I've had a lot of people ask me, well, you know, Des, why do you like the XBL2 over, say, like the Predator or something like, you know, some of the other Tomoquad frames? Well, I like them all. I love everything that Tomoquads makes. Very rarely do I have an issue with any kind of Tomoquads product. But one thing I like about the XBL2 as we start this review up is I like the pod profile. I like how it's stretched out. And, you know, some of the other designs on a lot of other quads, the pod is very high and center oriented. I know that some people feel that gives them a little better center of balance on the design. I have never noticed that, as you know, compared to flying the XBL2, I haven't noticed that issue at all. It is crazy stable. So I feel that it takes a crash a little bit better with that low profile pod. So that's a huge plus for this kit and this frame for me. All right, let's get right into the nitty gritty here. Let's get in here and let's see what the dry weight on this build is. There's one thing about this is I believe the Atom, the Rotor X Atoms are, you know, it's a sub 250 gram build, but it's like right around 200. So let's see what this is here. We're at 153 grams dry weight. Now for the flight controller, you have a couple different options when you use this build. I went with the 20 by 20 millimeter, and for my flight controller, I use the HGLRC XJB F425, and this is an F4 omnibus flight controller with the built-in OSD. Very nice flight controller, very happy with it. The lower part of the stack is a 4-in-1 ESC, which is 25 amps per motor. And I did have a problem with the very first one that I got. I had an ESC go out, and I was ripping through the sky, probably 65, 70 miles an hour, a little under top speed, and 100, 150 feet up, and the ESC went out, and it went down, and it did nothing to this frame. So that's kind of a testament to just how tough this frame is. The option in the kit, though, also lets you can get this little piece right here, which comes in the Tomoquads kit, and that allows you to use a 30.5 by 30.5, which is the standard size flight controller. So if you have one of those around, you can go ahead and use that too. For motors on this little beast, I went with the Brother Hobby 1407 3600 kV. So these have been really good, and I am having zero heat issues whatsoever. It doesn't even hardly get warm, and that's running the pack just balls to the wall, punch out after punch out after punch out. So very good motor. I also want to make a quick mention too that I got the motors here at Pitch and Yaw. It's a great little shop in California. They got really good prices on things, and their customer service is off the hook too. So if you're looking for some 1407s for the XBL2, check them guys out. I'll have the link in the description. For LiPo batteries here, I went with the 4S 850 milliamp. I got these at Ready Made RC, which is my favorite home state shop, and great bunch of guys. Always have great products, great prices, quick shipping. Anyhow, I went with first. I got one of these to try, the 35C 4S 850 milliamps. These are on sale right now. A little bit less continuous punch out, but still a very good pack for the money. I believe I got these for like $12 or something like that on sale, 12, 13 bucks. And then I got a lot of these, the 60C version of that. So let's look at the weight on that real quick. Here's the 35C first, and it's at 97 grams. And the 60C is at, oh, that cable came off. The 60C is showing 105 grams. So two absolutely great packs. Highly recommend those. We did have some guys in the test group that tried the 650 milliamp 4S packs, and they just weren't, it was not responding to the punch out. So I don't know what the deal was with that, what would be the difference. But definitely I'm recommending the 850 milliamp packs. For the camera, I used the Micro Run Cam Swift that just came out not too long ago. Great little camera, very lightweight, superb transition between light and dark. It's a CCD camera instead of a CMOS camera, so a nice little upgrade. The XBL2 is straight out, put the kit together, and it supports that cam. You can also add in, it comes with a sleeve in the kit now, I believe, where you can use an AIO cam if you would prefer to go that route, save a little bit of weight, not have to use the VTX. That is definitely an option in case you want to do that. Now for the props, I've used two different props. The props that are currently on the quad right here are the Rotor X 3040s. I also got a couple sets of these Rotor X 3044s, which gives it a little bit, has a little bit higher pitch. You can hear a little bit of noticeable difference as far as sound and maybe feel a little bit higher speed punch out. Now for the VTX, I originally used in the build video, which you'll see, I'll put it right up here in the top right of the screen in case you're ready to go ahead and build one of these, which I highly recommend, is I used the VTX 03 from Eachine, and it worked for a little while and then it died on me. So I don't know what exactly was up with that, but I decided to replace it, and I wanted to get a Immersion RC Tramp HV 5.8 VTX, and they were sold out everywhere. So I contacted a shop that I've dealt with before, and they have great customer service. They're called Airblade UAV, and they're up in Vancouver, British Canada. And I was really, really surprised and super happy. I wrote him, and he says, yeah, we got a few of those immersion transmitters in, and he shipped one out, had it in about 3 business days. One thing I'll also mention too is the Tomoquad's kit comes with a little black plate that has the hole here so that you can go ahead and do your SMA connector to use a full antenna. That's a very nice little feature. All right, let's talk real quick about PIDS. That was something that I am still working on, and I plan on releasing another little update video when I have the full PIDS done. I'm going to go ahead and post in the description what the current PIDS are. I personally do 2 sets of PIDS. I like my PIDS to be a little bit more ranged and not as quick on my race settings. And then when I do freestyle, I want it really touchy, and I want it to roll and to pitch super, super fast. So the PIDS that I have right now are kind of almost right in the middle of both of those categories. So a very good starting point. It's still very locked in. I did go ahead and do the first notch filter. I had probably about 3.5, maybe close to 4 hours to mess with some of the PIDS and get some things dialed in. So a great starting point and perfectly flyable. Absolutely, I mean, it actually flies very locked in at the PIDS that I have right now, but I'm going to further tweak those for the 2 areas that I'm going to be using this quad for the most. So check in the description there. You'll see the PIDS listed below, and hopefully that will give you guys a good starting point, or if you're an intermediate flyer, like that would be really locked in for you. Alright guys, so before we go to the flight footage, the onboard flight footage, and it's probably, I would say, about my 4th flight in on this thing. I was just starting to get a little bit of a feel for the PIDS, and it made 2 or 3 adjustments on the PIDs, and I kicked on the DVR to get you guys a little bit of footage. I want to say that I feel like the big pros of this are, of course, number one, it's super tough with the 4mm plate, 2.5mm pod. Super, super tough quad. I feel that it is one of the most versatile 3-inch frames, anywhere from racing to freestyle. And then I think it's very important to consider this one as an intermediate, and maybe even if you're skilled with a, say, brushed quadcopter, and then you've gone to like a smaller 2-inch brushless, this is a nice step up from that. You can throw the 1306 motors on it and, you know, go 2S, get a feel for it, and then go to 3S, get a little bit more speed, and then you can go to 4S and put the 1407s on it, and you're going to have an absolute little rocket ship beast that's just going to blow your mind. So a nice frame that you can not have to worry about breaking, super durable, lets you grow. As your skills improve, you can upgrade it, and it's a great one to have in a stable. I think, you know, if I was in an earlier position, like I just mentioned, this is the kind of thing that I would be looking for, you know, moving up from a 2-inch frame. So I think that's a big pro for this, and that's one of the reasons that I really wanted to promote this frame here. I want to say a big thanks to Tomoquads, you know, for sending me the frame and then let me do the review. I appreciate all of their support. Tomo is a great guy. So anyhow, let's get on to some flight footage here. And if you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the description below. And real quickly, coming up on the channel, we are going to do a Micro 2, version 2 of the Tomoquads micro frame. And that's a 2-inch. And what I'm going to do is, I know a lot of you guys have baby hawks and have watched my baby hawk videos. We're going to take the guts from the baby hawk, we're going to upgrade the motors, and we're going to pop it into the Micro 2. And we're going to use 3S. You can use 2S, which we'll test 2S, and 3S is going to be in there. And we're actually also going to consider pushing a little 2-inch frame with 4S and see how that goes too. So that's going to be coming up next on the channel. And then after that, we have the Punisher build from Tomoquads coming up, which is a super cool little frame. It's going to be multiple interchangeable arms, so you can do 4-inch, 5-inch, and I believe possibly even 6-inch. So that's going to be coming here in the next month too. All right, thank you very much, guys, for sticking around with me. Highly recommend this, and remember Tomoquad's motto, which I think truly describes them: innovative design brings performance. So alright guys, if you ain't got a Tomoquads, pick it up, enjoy the video, and leave some comments below. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to help you out. Please subscribe. It's Decided out. Have a good one.